And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of the OlimoLeague 2024 November finals, the monthly finals, I should emphasize. Here we go. We have our best of 5, our first one of the evening, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the blue Zerg player representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from South Korea representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. Here we go. And SHIN, again, they are two players that are good friends. Actually, they're very good friends. They both used to be on CJ Enters back in the day, and as a result, they've formed a bond over time. We have seen them both interact many a times in recent years of StarCraft, you know, outside of the game, just spending time with each other, and not just themselves, but a lot of the ex-CJ Enters boys, alongside not just herO and SHIN, but Bunny, Hush, Biel as well. I know that Biel, he came back for a moment after his military service, but only for a moment before unfortunately retiring once again. But it's always nice to see them all interact outside and outside of just the game and spend time together, and obviously, you know, are good friends. And now they have to face off here and now in the best of 5. Oh boy. We'll see how this goes. We've been casting a lot of SHIN's EVP as of late. Did, of course, compete against MaxPax earlier this morning in a best of 5. Now he is here against herO. And you don't get much better than that. MaxPax and herO are the other top 2 Protoss players in all of StarCraft. We'll see if SHIN can have as good of a performance against herO as he did against MaxPax. We'll see. We shall see. As for now, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of SHIN. Likewise, herO back at home going for a gate expand into Cybercore. Everything looking normal. Everything looking normal so far. You know, herO does move out this probe. Does move out for his probe scouts. We'll get eyes on the expansion, on the saturation, on the setup. And of course, welcome one and all to El Dorado. We do have our gold bases here. We have our gold walls as well. Basically, there's a center gold expansion that you can take, and also these other center expansions here, one on each side of the map. So you can embrace some gold bases, especially as a 4th or even as a 3rd, depending on how you do expand. You can take it on one end, or you can take it on the other side instead, depending on how you feel safest expanding and taking your hatcheries or nexus. So we'll see which direction our players do head in, whether we go and expand towards the south or towards the north. Speaking of, we do see that SHIN, he has mined through those gold minerals, and he will expand here towards the south instead. We'll take that southern base. Meanwhile, herO opening up Stargate, and I assumed it was going to be Stargate into Oracle, but no, it's going to be Stargate into Phoenix. Oh boy. Here we go. Go. This herO is going to be settling in, getting to his Phoenixes. Phoenix, the first one is revealed, and herO, he's actually committing to a 2nd and even a 3rd Phoenix. Oh my, he's going Mass Phoenix. Okay, this is something that we have not seen in a very, very long time. Mass Phoenix out of herO. Supply blocking SHIN for a moment, looking to gain map control, looking to move out. We did see Zaun earlier today attempt to go Mass Phoenix, but it was a very different build. Very different. If you remember, it was Void Ray into 2nd Stargate into Mass Phoenix. Meanwhile, just continued Phoenix production here by herO, hunting down Overlords, looking for any stray units, any stray pickups, nothing major so far. And herO will take his 3rd. So SHIN expands towards the south, herO expands towards the north. Now, what I will say here about these Phoenixes is that they do have added value because of the energy overcharge, so they have extra utility in that sense, extra energy. As they get ready to move out, Lings, they move in. Plenty of an episode to defend. herO is holding. So far, herO is holding. 5 Phoenixes move out, so they go for the mineral line. Drones are falling. Not bad. Okay, 5 worker kills before pulling away. Not a single Phoenix goes down. Very efficient. And we're following this up with gateways and with a Twilight Council. Do you see what I see? I see no Forge. No Forge here for herO. This looks like either Glaives or very committed Blink play. I'm leaning towards Glaives. Actually, it could be Charge as well. I mean, there are options. Regardless, Hyper Aggression. Hyper Aggression from herO. Warping in the depths. That tells us that it should be Glaives. Otherwise, he'd reinforced with something else, I would assume. Meanwhile, herO catches another Overlord. Gets one, gets two. Two Overlords go down. Glaives are on the way, as we did mention. And again, this is just a way. This is just a bit of a 1-2 punch. herO, he shuts down the Overlords. He cripples some of the production here, and he follows it up with Glaives. We'll see if SHIN can't keep up. Queen is going to go down. Picks up a Queen. Gets another Overlord. Creep was not connecting the bases. SHIN having a very hard time just rotating and keeping up. Another drone kill. Another 2 drones go down. And what does SHIN have? Only Ling. Lair is still on the way, getting to Hydra production. But Ling Hydra is going to struggle against Glaive Adept. Against Mass Glaive Adepts. SHIN, he's on the back foot. He's having a hard time keeping up. Adepts are amassing. That's a lot of Adepts. Oh my god, Jesus. One Phoenix finally goes down, but looking at the other side, that is 20 Adepts from herO. And here he comes. 20 Adepts shading across the map. There will not be something gets spotted by the Ling, as SHIN knows. And you can see SHIN walling off. He's trying to at least. Oh, the wall's denied. The lift on the drone. Oh, we attempt to wall off the Adepts. They do bust in. The wall does nothing. Phoenixes, they lift the Queens. They hunt down the Overlords. And the Adepts are wreaking havoc. We have a couple of Roaches trickling in, but there's not enough. Not enough Roaches and too many Adepts. As herO snowballs out of control, he shades into the main. Drones are going down. He gets 10, 15 workers go down. Oh my god, in the blink of an eye. So much economic damage. And herO's not done. Not even close. Shades into the third. He commits. I had 22 worker kills. And he's still not done. Picks up the Lings. Picks up all the workers. Shading into the natural. Cancels the shade. And catching even more workers. As SHIN, he does transfer back over. Does rotate. Behind this herO getting into blink into +1. And he's still not done, by the way. Denies the wall, takes down even more drones. The Phoenixes are still being active. Getting up to 32, 33 drones. The Queen. 33 drones and doesn't quite get the final Queen. herO backs off. Adepts, they survived. There's still Adepts left over. And looking at the trades here, it was 42 drones against 12 Adepts. You also got 34 Lings, 3 Queens, 2 Roaches. Just a brutal trade. And remember the follow-up, Mass Blink Stalker. Mass Blink Stalker. We have double Forge, 2-1 upgrades on the way for herO. Getting a 4th expansion. herO maintains map control. herO didn't kill SHIN. You can even see that SHIN has a higher drone count. That is true, but because of that, or I should say because of his losses, SHIN, he had to just focus on spending all of his lava on redroning, which means SHIN, he is lacking an army, he's lacking tech. He had to reinvest into pure drone production. Now the goal base is an X factor. The goal base is helping SHIN recover. True. So it's not as dire here as it could be, as it otherwise should be. But here is not slowing down. He's not stopping. Hits the gold. And GG gets gold. We don't, I mean, the writing was on the wall. We don't even get the final fight, as herO will take game number 1. GG. herO does take a lead in the series. Takes game 1. And that was a wild game as well. Going Mass Phoenix into Mass Glaive Adept was crazy. The Phoenixes, they gained so much value. I mean, again, SHIN, his lair was late. His Hydra production was delayed, or any kind of anti-air. He was trying to focus on Queens to defend, but the Queens were having a very hard time rotating between the bases. Creep was not connecting the bases either, and GG. GG, well played. herO's double out of control, and with that, herO takes the lead. But now we're getting ready for game number 2, and I want to believe that SHIN can fight back. Up next, it's going to be Frostline. Here we go, a much larger map. Much larger map here. And we'll see if SHIN can get some more success or find better success here. Maybe extend the game, try and get into the mid game, try and get some breathing room, and have herO back off. Again, herO, he's not the most standard of Protoss players. He, as we see here, willing to spice things up when it comes to his builds and be a little bit more unorthodox. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the blue Zerg player representing Gaiman Gladiators down in the series. He's of course from South Korea. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. Leading the series 1-0, it is herO. Go. herO is going to be building up. Likewise, SHIN going at hatch first. So far, nothing crazy. We're settling in. But welcome one and all to Frostline. For those that are curious, what is Frostline? It is Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer has had a bit of a name change, has had an identity crisis, and is now Frostline instead. With that, this is of course the largest map in the newly added maps in the map pool, amongst maps like Amygdala and Leylines and Ultra Love and El Dorado. Snowpiercer or Frontline stands strong as the largest map. As a result, longer rushes by ground. As a result, more bases, which are quite spread out actually. And I would imagine that if SHIN were to pick this map, it is to get some breathing room, is to get into the mid game here on a 3, if not 4 base economy. We'll see what SHIN's plan is. Another option, of course, is to potentially get into a lair and go into Mutatech, or maybe into Swarm Host. We've seen SHIN has been quite fond of Swarm Host play, but I do feel like it's very map dependent with how and when it works. I think it's very map dependent, so we'll see what SHIN does decide to embrace. Here we go. For now, we do have our take of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of herO. Even though it's a Stargate, I mean, it could be anything at this point. If this was any other player, I'd be like, hey, a Stargate opener into an Oracle, into a triple Oracle, into a third base, into a macro game. But clearly, herO, he has builds, and clearly he's willing to spice things up and go into Phoenixes instead. Oh boy. He's an animal, man. He's an animal. As herO does poke in. Chipping away at the queen. Oh my Jesus, as SHIN is making, he's link flooding. Oh my god. He's getting a third base just for Larva, and I was assuming that, he wants to go into Frostline just so he can go into a macro game. No, not at all. He's going for a Ling Flood, cutting workers at 23 and making purely Ling. Back across the map, what is it to defend? Oracle moves out, so there are 2 adepts here at the front wall. And can SHIN actually get value with this? Can he break through? The problem is that because of the Oracle opener and the Oracle follow-up, the Oracle's able to shut this down. Lings have arrived, Oracle out of position. But we have a backup Oracle that's about to pop out in a couple of seconds. Lings, they flood in! They break through! Oh, that should not have happened. Lings, they bust on in, they take down the adepts, they bust into the middle line, probes are going down. The one Oracle can help, but there's just so many Lings, too many Lings! Yeah, probes are falling, there's Lings in the main as well, workers going down to every single base. But is it enough? Getting up to 14, 15, 17. Oh my, he keeps going. 21. 22 probes go down. Critical damage dealt here by SHIN. Behind this, he's running. He's running up, saturating his bases, and looking to tech up as well. This was good damage. SHIN does have an advantage, But was this enough? As herO can now counterattack. He has Adepts, he has Oracles, he's moving out across the map. The pressure is on. Pressure is on herO here for some counter damage. Let's see what he gets done. Headed towards the third. Going for the natural. Unable to quite break in. It's a drone kill. Up! Oracle under fire. It's going to be one Oracle going down. Not the best trade for herO. Bearing in mind he has to be as efficient as possible. But here he does rock up with 6 Adepts. Six Adepts have arrived. Shading into the main. They do commit. Oh, the boys are being pulled and drones are going to be going down. Oh my god. So far, 2 drone kills. Nice drone drilling here out of SHIN, minimizing losses. That could have been so much worse. Meanwhile, herO, he reinforces with 2 more Adepts. SHIN, he comes in for the surround. And the Oracle, oh god! One more shot, it almost falls. And GG gets called. herO, he needed more damage. He was completely all in, and SHIN fights back, putting a point on the board. Whew. GG. GG, well played. SHIN, he bites back again, able to just catch herO with his pants down, going for the mass Ling Flood into the mineral lines, into the main, into the natural. He did critical damage. We saw that herO, he was doing some counter damage, of course, with his Adepts and with his Oracles, but he had no third. He had no third base, he had no economy, he had no sustainability in that game. There was nothing else behind that. herO was all in, and he did not do enough. Not do enough. We go. As it is going to be herO's map of choice. He has options: Ley Lines, Amygdala, or Whispers of Gold. We have the answer. It is going to be Whispers of Gold. Oh boy. Once again, it is a smaller map, exposed third bases. Aggression is favored on a map like this, and I'm sure both herO and SHIN, I'm sure they have plans. I'm sure they have ideas here for how they want to approach this game. As we are jumping on in. Here we go. You can hear the beats for getting into that game 3. And this will determine who takes the lead, who gains momentum in this series. Oh boy. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the blue Protoss player representing Weibo Gaming being forced into a tied-up series. We'll see if he can take a lead. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. Ooh, going for a 15 hatch here. Representing Gaiman Gladiators, it is SHIN. Here we go. SHIN does go for a 15-15. 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. Very safe opener here out of SHIN. It's going to be safe. With this, it means that he won't be forced to take the unnatural natural. And we'll be going for a delayed gas as a result. It is going to be a later gas geyser, or at least it should be a later gas geyser for SHIN. Yep, going for the pool. And because of this, this can lead into delayed link speed, into roach play, but in this matchup, I don't know if it's quite wise to do so. And gas down the way. But regardless, link speed is going to be delayed, and that does mean that a hero can be more careless or more aggressive with his adepts. Usually you would keep your first 2 adepts back at home, as in you would harass with them initially, then you'd race back to defend your third because you're vulnerable to a link counterattack. But because hero knows that the gases are later, that means that the link counterattack isn't really going to be there because there's no link speed. So he can be more assertive with the first 2 and then 4 adepts. And we'll see if hero does embrace that. We shall see. So for now, to have SHIN calming things down, just droning up, saturating his bases. Likewise, Stargate is on the way. We have our tech of choice here from herO. Oh, there we go. It's going to be the Stargate. Once again, this should be for the Oracle, but considering it's herO, I want to tentatively say that it should be an Oracle. Should be. Series does poke in. Stargate about to finish. There we go. Oracle's on the way. Second gateway alongside it. Adepts are moving out. Shading into the main. Getting so far 2 drones. Yeah, 2 drones going for a 3rd worker as well. Can he get it? Not quite. Trades with the Lings. But again, this kind of dive is acceptable here for herO. Usually this would be punished. Usually herO, he lost 1 adept, he has 1 left, and he can be chased back home, and his 3rd base can be delayed. But remember, these are slow Lings. Ling speed is still a couple of seconds away, so herO, he can trade. Races back. More gateways. Wait, what? herO, he's getting 2 extra gates behind this, going for a bit of a delayed 3rd. Interesting. Okay, later 3rd base for herO. Now is expanding. Oracle parked over the expansion. Queens do respond. Here he pokes back in. Gets another 3 drones. Not bad. Saves all the oracles, more importantly. I mean, one of them is on 4 HP. Barely got out. Meanwhile, SHIN going for a standard Roach Warren timing. Adepts have arrived. Going to be 6 adepts for herO. Shading into the natural. Stage trap is denied. Adepts say don't commit. Airlings are coming for a surround. They lock down the adepts. Decent engage here from SHIN. Okay, we'll clean this up. Cleans up the adepts. They shade into the mineral line. More Lings are in position. And SHIN holds. SHIN, he shuts down the aggression. The oracles, they do get 3 extra drones here. Going for a 4th. Not quite. SHIN does defend. And that is going to be 8 drone kills in total for 7 adepts. Not the best trade for herO. He was hoping for something more efficient. Meanwhile, back at home, additional adepts to defend. Limited saturation here at the expansion, though. The 3rd base is now getting up and running. And herO is now taking up into +1, and I would imagine Blink. I would imagine. As herO is taking up. More adepts warping in. Jesus, herO committing to a 2nd wave of adepts. This is often not seen. At this point, we would usually be transitioning into more Blink Stalkers. But no, herO, he has right, but this time there's going to be Roaches. Yeah, full wall at the natural. Adepts, they are denied. SHIN is shutting this down. Stasis going up. Catching the Lings. Catching even more. No major economic damage, though. Going for another stasis. He's not stopping. Oh, no. Late reaction. Still in one drone. Whew. Close call there for SHIN. Does pull away in time. Behind this, taking into Hydra. So for now, just roachling into Hydra Tech on 3 bases. It's been a very chaotic kind of early game and game state here between SHIN and herO. SHIN, he is getting into that Roach Hydra. Meanwhile, Lings, they move out. So they get eyes on the 3rd. Stalkers are ready. SHIN pulls away. Let's pull away. He pulls back, and from here we can settle into a bit of a longer game state. We're now taking up in not just Blink, into Charge, into double upgrades, +2, +1 armor. SHIN getting to his Hydra production. Really, my eyes for now are going to be on SHIN to see whether or not he saturates the 4th. I mean, we've kind of stumbled our way into the mid game. It's just been a very awkward game state. As I say that, herO being aggressive, he's moving out. He has 8 gates behind this. Uh oh. Spawn 8 gateways. Blink is done. So is +1. Is poking forward. Hydras are trying to hold their own. But we need roaches. We need some kind of support. The hatchery is going to go down. SHIN does want to throw it away. He's going to be poking in. The hatchery barely survives. Stasis gets baited. SHIN holding his own. Jesus, these Hydras, their heads are so big. Their horns, I should say. They're massive. Oh my god. An F-Say threaten a Shay, but SHIN, he keeps up. Does wall off. Clutch moves out of SHIN. Does wall off in time. Knocking down those rocks. herO reinforcing. Hyper committed with these Stalkers. Did delay his splash damage in favor of these upgrades, in favor of this push. Again, herO, where's his Colossus or Storm or Disruptors? It was delayed. Intentionally so. It has been delayed. herO now taking up, but SHIN, he's maxing out. He has not saturated the 4th. It's only for Larva. He's maxing out, pushing across the map. He's going for the kill. This is what I was waiting for. SHIN is committed. And herO, is he ready to defend this? He's got a cannon. He has a shield battery. Stasis gets baited out. SHIN pushing forward. Some of the Hydras are exposed. He has to pull back. He's having a hard time gaining ground. herO getting supply blocked. Yeah, just turning back the army with those piles. Next is under fire. And SHIN, it looks like he can't get the expansion. Yeah, a couple more volleys. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, herO, he knows. He has to give it here and now. He does take some bites to the face, but he cleans up most of the roaches and the ravagers. And herO holding. herO, he is holding. Chasing down the ravagers. Blinks on forward. And SHIN barely does not have enough. It was close. It was so close. He almost got the Nexus, but the Nexus survives. 7 probe kills, and herO, he shuts down the main army, and SHIN, he's out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of army. And again, SHIN, he's not ready to take up into Hive, into Lurkers, into further upgrades. Like, we have 2-1 on the way. herO already has it. And now herO, he can look to snowball out of control. Building up more Stalkers. Building up more Stalkers with this. Doesn't quite get the Ravagers. Not quite. herO pulls away. Does pull away. Storm is almost done. Again, the soup does lie. Even though SHIN is up in army supply, a lot of that is in roaches. A lot of supply is in roaches. Not in Hydra, not in Ravager. Still waiting for their storms. Speaking of, Storm connects. The other less so. Mainly going to be zoning. Mainly does zone away. But here he's on a 4-base economy. He's up in workers, up in economy. even on bases. And here he has one more storm left. Oh my god. Storm connects. SHIN trying to pull herO back, but alas, there's just only so much he can do. Just trying to buy time. Oh, getting an Archon. He gets one. He gets two. I mean, SHIN, he's recovering. He's building up quite a hefty army here. And where are the storms? Again, the High Templar, they morphed into Archons. No more storms left. I spoke too soon. High Templar, oh my god, they force out an Archon. High Templar goes down. Massive pickup. No storms. And without storms, SHIN, he can break through. He can keep going. Starter steps forward. Shuts down the Zealot reinforcements. Stalkers are trying to hold their own. They are falling as well. And here he can't really maintain these trades. Boys are being pulled, and SHIN, it looks like he has just barely done it. Very intense game. Initially, herO had a very solid hold, but now it looks like he has been outscaled. Again, without any splash damage, how can he deal with this many Hydras? He can't. That is the answer. Oof, as he bleeds out almost every single Stalker, the Immortal gets surrounded, and SHIN has done it. SHIN will take a lead. He will take a lead in this series. He has control of the 4th base, depowering all the gateways, going for the Nexus. Nexus goes down. And here he's down to a handful of Stalkers. He barely has an army standing. We'll have some storms. Thankfully, he has been backing up some energy on the High Templar, but this was necessary earlier. This was necessary like 2 or 3 minutes ago. It's too little, too late. As herO, he lost control of his 4th. And SHIN, he's going to keep pushing. Forces out another Archon. Gets one of the Zealots. There's a first storm. There's a second storm. And that was it. That was the final storm for herO. GG gets called, and SHIN takes a 2-1 lead in this best-of-5 semifinals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SHIN will take a lead here again. A very close game, very back and forth. There were definitely moments where herO had the edge and had the lead, then went back the way of SHIN, then back to herO, back to SHIN, back to herO again, back to SHIN. Of course, we saw that herO, he ran out of storms. His initial move out with storm support was looking very strong, very powerful, but he ran out. He decided to morph in those Archons, wasn't quite able to gather up enough energy for follow-up storms. He lost control of his position, he lost momentum, and SHIN snowballed from there. GG. GG, well played. It's going to be herO's map of choice, and we have the answer. It is going to be Ley Lines. Let's go. Ley Lines is coming up next. And we'll see if herO can force the ace match, or if it all ends here and now in favor of SHIN. Oh boy. I mean, coming into this, I do favor herO overall over SHIN, but I mean, they do trade, they go back and forth in series. Clearly very close in skill here between these two. And we'll see. We'll see if herO can recover. You can hear the beeps. We're loading in. Are loading in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the blue Protoss player. The South Korean Protoss representing Weibo Gaming. WBG down in this series. He has to fight back here and now to force an ace match. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And SHIN, he only needs one more here to advance on to the grand finals, that best of 7. Can he take it? Take it here and now. Again, it was still a very close game, still very clutch. I'll be honest, at moments I didn't believe in the capacity of SHIN to bounce back after so many losses, but alas, he did it. He recovered. Crazy. Crazy. Sorry, just stretching. As we are settling in. herO just being as annoying as possible. It's going to be hatch gas ball, standard opener at a SHIN. Standard opener. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too wild. As we are recovering. herO getting chased down. He wants it. Oh, SHIN! He comes in! The flank! Ooh. He flanks the probe, gets a kill. That should not have happened. Again, here he was playing with fire. He got burned. Did get burned. And with that, herO, he won't be able to delay the third base. He won't be able to get eyes on the third either. And SHIN could try to be a little more assertive here. We'll see. We'll see if he tries to pull a fast one over on herO. Has the option to. But now, just going to be droning, settling in, soon to be taking a third base. Meanwhile, herO once again going for his second choice. It is going to be a Stargate opener. Once again, I'm leaning towards Oracles, but we'll see if herO does spice things up with a Void Ray or with a Phoenix. We shall see. From here, though, we are settling in. Stargate is done. And we'll see. There it is. It is going to be the Oracle. It is going to be Oracle first out of herO. Waiting to say poke the front door. Adept shades in towards the natural. But it looks like, yeah, SHIN does defend. Does hold off, does lay any kind of aggression, any kind of harass. SHIN is holding his own. Getting into link speed, pulling out a gas, of course, so we're not rushing into a fast Roach Warren or a Baleen Nest. Just link speed, into map control, into a third base. We're calming things down. Now, we can take a moment to talk about the map itself here. We're leading to ley lines. This makes sense as a map pick for herO. Ley lines is a very defendable map. Very defendable. We do have a very narrow ramp coming in towards the third base. Very narrow, so very easy here to hold to protect the third. Likewise, fourth base also quite defendable as well, thanks to all these ramps, thanks to all this high ground. So we could see herO embrace a longer game state. As I say that, Twilight Council's on the way. That's a very early Twilight Council. Just as the third base is being turned down, this screams Glaive Adepts. This does scream Glaives. There's a gateway explosion. Glaive Adepts on the horizon. Oracles move out. They get 2 drones. 2 drones so far. They got much more. They got much more damage. Here, running that shade. And as we did mention, Glaives are on the way. Again, if you see a Twilight Council that early on without a Forge, it has to be Glaive Adepts. And I believe SHIN is in the dark. SHIN, he doesn't know. He is not aware. Now, of course, this hits far later than your regular Twilight Council opener into Glaives. This is Stargate into Glaives instead, with a third base, of course. Now, what does this mean? This means that the Adepts, they build up over time back at home, and there is no War Prism, because there's no rowboat, there are no reinforcements on the front lines. So this isn't as committed in a sense, but basically the goal here is to try to catch SHIN off guard. It's to catch him with his pants down, and hopefully catch SHIN without any roaches. Speaking of, Adept shade out, and the Roach one is only just now being thrown down, so no roaches to defend. Likewise, these are vanilla Adepts, not Glaive Adepts. As they threaten the shade. So far, SHIN, he does wall up. Does wall up. Adepts they rotate over. There's Oracles here to support. And SHIN, he doesn't commit. Still poking, does reinforce. Now, bearing in mind that herO, he did delay quite a bit of tech to make this happen. Blink is just now starting, and there's no Forge and no +1. He commits! Okay, shades on in. Lings, they come in for a surround, but a bit of an awkward engagement for these Lings. Lings are going to be cleaned up. Adepts, they hold their own, they shut down most of these Lings, but so many Adepts go down. They shade into the mineral line, some drone damage, getting 2 drones, but this is not enough. herO, he was hoping for more. As SHIN is holding. More adepts have arrived, though. They don't quite make it in. SHIN is holding on. Again, loving the kind of the haphazard wall that he has constructed here with that Spore Crawler as well. Has been able to maintain himself. Adepts take him into the third. They clean up most of the Lings, but still no major economic damage. No major damage. herO is still hoping for more. Of course, working on Blink and working on +1, trying to transition out of this. Reinforcing with Stalkers. But SHIN is holding. Now working on a 4th base. Plus on range. herO, he may be able to delay the expansion. Not bad. Forces a cancel on the 4th. Containing the Zerg player. herO's on even bases. herO, he's on even workers. herO may not have killed SHIN, but he has done a decent amount of damage here. He's keeping up. He's keeping up, if not a lead here against SHIN. SHIN trying desperately to get a 4th base. Getting into Roach production, into Hydras as well. To Roach Hydra. Stalkers, they trade well for themselves. Shaving off these Lings. Adepts, they threaten a shade into the natural or into the 3rd. More Stalkers on the way. Again, there's 7, soon to be 8 gates behind this. Adepts, a shade into the 3rd. herO pushing forward. So far, trading well, getting more roaches. Not too many Hydras, though. At the same time, Ling Rame does hit into the mineral line. At 7, 8, 9, probes going down. Losses that herO can't quite afford. Yeah, late reaction, late response by herO was focusing elsewhere. Late warp in. Means 10 probe kills. Should not have happened. Ten workers go down. herO diving in. Snipes the 4th. Does snipe the expansion. SHIN trying to keep up, but I mean these losses have been quite brutal. And as SHIN is taking into lurkers, we have herO embracing disruptors. Disruptors are on the way. Colossus have already arrived as well. herO, he may just have too much momentum. Pushing in towards the 3rd. And GG gets called. SHIN sees the Colossus. He knows he cannot fight it. And herO ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. We are going here to game 5. And there's only one map left. So we're going to be loading into Amygdala. Both players were trying to avoid it, but alas, you can avoid it for only so long, as we will embrace it here as the final game of the series. And we'll see how the story ends. We'll see who advances on to those grand finals. Who is it going to be? So we have our map of choice. Here we go. So we're getting into our final game. Game 5. The ace match. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the blue Zerg player representing Gaiman Gladiators being forced into Game 5. We'll see if he can bring it back. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Weibo Gaming, WBD, WBG even. Bringing it back and trying to enforce that ace match. Can he keep that going? Can he keep that momentum going? It is herO. Hello, Mr. Drone. As SHIN is coming in with what looks to be a proxy hatch. I would imagine there's just a hatch block at the natural. Yep, it's going to be a hatch block here at the natural base of herO, looking to disrupt the build and the opener of the Protoss. Here we go. As the probes, they do hit the expansion. Again, it's going to be 5 workers here off the mineral line. Lots of economic, I should say, a little less mine time here for herO. Again, this is the goal of this opener from SHIN. Just forcing less mine time, forcing out a Zealot, forcing out a Cyber Core instead of an expansion, and delaying the Nexus for as long as possible. Behind this, SHIN is going for an earlier gas. Interesting. It's going to be gas pool into a delayed hatchery. I'm sure part of that was because of the probe. Regardless, SHIN will eventually expand. There we go. The drone comes in, and the expansion has been placed. So here we go. Do you see the cancel there from SHIN? Again, expanding back at home. Even going for the gas seal. He got it. Gas seal into the main. Love to see it. SHIN, again, being just as annoying as possible. Gas seal in the main, delaying some of the production. Even going for a second gas seal. Let's go. Second gas seal. Eventually, herO will be able to take it. You can see here, I even forced to pull the boys just to focus it down. And there we go. Finally, herO can take the gas for his own. Gas is being taken. We go. Oh, drone finally goes down. Back at home, SHIN saturating, taking his bases, droning on up, getting into link speed. Remember, it was a gas before expansion, so link speed is going to be done a little bit faster here for SHIN. So he should be able to keep up with any adept harass and keep up with herO. Oh, as herO, he responds with a robo. That I was not expecting. Oh my god. We go. Hold on, I need to respond to this. There we go. As we do go for the robo. Now, with this, I'm curious. This looks like an Immortal +1 vanilla gateway all in. There's +1 on the way. We do have the prison to reinforce. It's honestly kind of an awkward build here from herO, going for a delayed Twilight Council. Okay. Here we go. As herO does shade towards the third. For now, just keeping keeping SHIN busy. Again, trying to keep him busy. Overlord dips in towards the main, trying to get a full scout. And how is this all coming together here? Are we going into early Archon production with the Temple Archives, or are we going into charge? Blink? Whatever it is, it's not Glaives. Okay, there it is, charge. That makes the most sense. Like, charge +1, potentially Immortal support as well. Regardless, this should be a 2-base all-in. 2-base all-in out of herO. is moving out to, free up that third. Prism has arrived. That F's won't get much done. Yeah, there it is. Gateway explosion. 4 more gates instead of the Nexus. 2 base all in. 2 base all in on the Amygdala. This does, it makes sense for the map itself, don't get me wrong. But just such a wild build here out of herO. Will it work? Now, SHIN, does he have roaches? He does have a roach warren. Roach warren is available. Queens are in position. I believe they sniped the Observer. Yep, Observer did wander into a Spore. And SHIN just has to make sure he's able to tech up into additional gases. There we go, 2 gases already, so he can afford roach production. 5 overlords on the way. SHIN getting supply blocked. Can now break out. And here comes the move. Here comes the main army. Here comes the all-in of herO. Get a 2 base, 7 gates all in. Ay, ay, ay. And here we go. It's all or nothing for herO. At the same time, Lings, they flood in. They forced the all-in. The all-in was already here, though. And can SHIN hold? He's got a couple of roaches on the way. Ravagers, they morph in. You can see here 20 probe kills across the map. SHIN, he's wreaking havoc. And it looks like he can survive. Yeah, Ravagers, they finish morphing in just in time. They get a full surround. Piles that didn't quite connect. But they collapse on the sentries. And SHIN, he holds. He shuts down the army, shuts down the all-in, cripples the economy. And herO, he has almost nothing left. He's down to 2 adepts. Ay, ay, ay. He has a handful of units trickling in. He's got an Immortal, he's got a couple of Zealots, but not much else. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for SHIN. As SHIN, he has an economy, he has 3 bases. He has an army as well. herO going for the main. Looking to micro his heart out, but I'm not sure he can. There's only so much he can do. Yeah, SHIN, he's ready for this. Lings, they just ensure that there is no expansion. Like SHIN, he just makes sure there is no 3rd base being taken in either direction. That's all he needs to do. Meanwhile, here he does snipe a queen at least. 1 queen goes down. Lings, they hit the natural once again. The rest of the army has arrived. There's 2 Immortals, a good amount of force fields with their sentries. True, there's potential with this army. But as long as SHIN has some Ravagers left over, he can deal with those force fields. Speaking of, Overlord's under fire. Lings, they come in from behind. They trigger the shields. Bailing's waddling in. They get some decent connections. More charge lots. On the Biles! And they shut down the Prism. Prism survives? Okay. Prism does survive. Zealots are trading well. Once again, force fields, they lock down the Ravagers. Biles, they graze the army. Poison being pulled, they have to be. A very chaotic defense here for SHIN. But he is holding the Biles, they connect. They shut down the Prism. Finally, the Prism goes down. And SHIN is holding. He can guide back. There's 1 Immortal left over. Ooh, killing his own Overlords, but it's fine. He can afford to, as the final Immortal is going to fall. Not the cleanest defense, but a defense nonetheless. 13 drones were lost, but here he's got 27 probes. Again, there's just not much left over. There's nothing at home. Here he's on like 1.5 base economy. Like barely a 2 base economy. Under a 2 base economy at this point. Here, the Immortal count was reset. Sentry count as well. He's moving out with another Zealot drop. Here, doing everything he can to try to recover in this game, but the writing at this point is on the wall. There was a chance in that last fight, true. There was a chance. It does feel like that was the only chance. As here, he rotates towards the natural. Roaches are ready. The Zealots didn't do much damage. They didn't do anything, actually. SHIN is just ensuring that he's safe here against the drop play. Make sure that SHIN just making sure he's able to keep up. herO rebuilding those immortals, getting ready for a third wave, a third all-in. No shot. And SHIN is going for the gold. He's rushing into the gold base. Oh my god. SHIN trying to just anticipate the movement of the prism. Let's go. He wants the prism. We won't get it. Does want it though. Fourth base is spotted. Alas, herO can't really do much about it. I'm forced to cancel. PvZ just making sure that herO is indeed just taking up. There's no crazy sky toss transition into a fleet beacon, into carriers, or anything crazy like that. SHIN knows. Knows he's safe, knows he's okay. Failing speed is done. Overlord speed finishing up as well. God, this prism drop being such a nuisance. Oh, going for the queen. Going for a warp in. Not bad. SHIN, he moves out across the map. Doesn't have much room to defend. Nice force field. Oh, and SHIN, he turns around. He thought about it. herO, he's gaining value here. Oh, the force field and SHIN, he commits. Yeah, he just commits. He just ignores the army. Goes across the map instead. Drones are going down. I mean, a queen as well. This is critical damage. SHIN is losing a lot. But he's going for the kill. He's going for the main army. Force fields are piled down. Again, the sentries are full, and GG gets called. There's just not enough to defend back at home. And SHIN will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A wild final game here. herO going for a 2-base all-in, but a very unorthodox 2-base all-in, going to delayed charge into +1, immortal production. Just a wild move out from herO. Alas, SHIN did take losses, but did maintain himself. He was able to maintain himself, able to survive, able to defend, and from there was able to snowball out of control. Alas, herO, it wasn't just the failed all-in. The fact that SHIN was able to cripple the economy at the same time, he was able to bust on in to that natural and wreak havoc. GG. GG well played. He just forced the all-in, and once it didn't work, that was game. That was game then and there. With that, SHIN is going to be our first finalist, and the question becomes, who will join him in those grand finals? Who is it going to be? As we get ready here for our next series, it's going to be a PvZ between Bjorn and Dark. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be going on a short break as our players, they need some time to get their webcams ready. Once they are ready to go, once they are set up, we will be jumping into those semifinals. See you soon. See you soon.